Very significant, this goddamn New York Times expose of the most highly classified documents of the war.
Oh, that. I see. I didn't read the story, but you mean that was leaked out of the Pentagon?
Sir, the whole study that was done for McNamara and then carried on after McNamara left by Clifford and the peaceniks over there. This is a devastating security breach of the greatest magnitude of anything I've seen.
Well, what's being done about it then? I mean, I didn't. Did we know this was coming out?
No, we did not, sir.
Yeah.
There are just a few copies of this.
What about the
volume report?
But what about the? Let me ask you this though. What about Laird? What's he going to do about it? Now I just start right at the top and fire some people. I mean, whatever department it came out of, I'd fire the top guy.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure it came from defense, and I'm sure it was stolen at the time of the turnover.
As the 37th President of the United States of America, here is the story about how I became the first president to resign. I was born on January 9th in 1913 in Yorba Linda, California. I am a Republican congressman, and I served as vice president under Dwight D. Eisenhower. I ran for president in 1960 and lost. But then 8 years later, I returned. I won over the White House, and I was elected president. I was now the 37th President of the United States. Contrary to what most people believe, I have not always had a glory lifestyle. I had to earn my spot in Congress, and throughout my life, I have always strived to be the best. Growing up, my family was not very wealthy, and both of my parents had to work constantly to earn their money. One moment in my life that set me back emotionally was when my little brother and older brother died due to illnesses. Ever since this tragedy, I've wanted to keep important things close to me, like this presidency. I did not grow up in the most fortunate conditions. I was unable to attend college until I got a full ride to Duke. I worked for that scholarship to Duke just like I worked for this presidency. This presidency is the most important thing to me, and that's why when the Pentagon Papers were released and America turned against me, it destroyed me. Ever since I struggled when I was young with the deaths of my brothers, I have always took relationships with people seriously, which played a part of my issue. My portrayal of withdrawing from Vietnam was beneficial to Americans at home and for my personal political popularity. The appreciation from citizens was dwindling, and I did not want to lose it. I needed to tone down criticism towards me and the Doves to gain political support for myself. I need more people on my side because, after all, you can't trust the communists. Godfrey Sperling, a historian, wrote from his article, Nixon's Secret Plan That Never Was, that these end-the-war disclosures were private and off the record. When a story began to circulate about a secret plan to withdraw troops, it was not that I had a secret plan to lie to the American public and engage in the Vietnam War, but that was the anti-war Dove Americans dreamt up a secret plan by myself to withdraw troops. This is not a selfish choice, and my Secretary of Defense, Melvin Robert Laird, has some words to say on this issue. Hello, citizens of the U.S. In relation to the Pentagon Papers, releasing them was detrimental to the U.S. national security. The First Amendment protects freedom of the press. However, the publication of these papers were followed by serious outroar and chaos, resulting in violent protests. This is an instance where this right should not have been enacted. In conclusion, 5 presidents, Truman, Eisenhower, JFK, LBJ, and Nixon, had contributed to concealing America's involvement in the war. Nixon just gets a worse reputation for it because the papers were released during his first term and were later followed by the Watergate scandal. As my Secretary of Defense clearly states, this event was not entirely my fault and it was not intended. I hope that this event will not hurt our relationship, and I am truly sorry for the pain I have caused you all. Remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hate them and then destroy yourself.
And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
President.